Good morning, everybody. How are you guys today? Good. So today we have a few master gardeners here that are going to read some stories, and they have a special planting activity for you. Next week we will have the Water Carnival royalty here to read to you. So we look forward to seeing you guys then. So welcome to the Master Gardeners.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? Yeah? My name's Liz, and the first book I'm going to read today is called Muncha, Muncha, Muncha. It's written by Candace Fleming and illustrated by G. Brian Harris. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. This spring, said Mr. McGreely, this spring, by golly, I'm going to plant a garden. So he hoed and he sowed and he watched his garden grow. Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, yum, yum, yummy, said Mr. McGreely. I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies. But one night, when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. Tippy, 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 pat. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. There, he declared, no bunny can get into my garden now. And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat. Spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning when Mr. McGreely saw his nibbled leaves and gnawed sprouts, he was really angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. He huffed. Those flop ears can never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now. And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat. Spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Dig, scrabble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was really, really angry. So he made a deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. Ha, he snorted. Those pufftails can't get under it. They can't get over it. No bunny can get into my garden. And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat. Dive, paddle, splash, splash, splash. Dig, scrabble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious. So he hammered and blocked, sawed and stalked, drilled and filled and tapped and locked, and he built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure, he exclaimed. They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how can get into my vegetable garden now. And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 stop. The 3 hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them and tippy, 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 pat, the bunnies hopped away. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy. I beat the bunnies, he whooped, and he did a jiggly wiggly victory dance. Then he climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden. Ah, sighed Mr. McGreely. At last, smacking his lips, he picked and pulled up lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. What's in his basket? Muncha, muncha, muncha. He decided to share his carrots with the bunnies after all. So the next book is Goodnight Veggies, written by Diana Murray and Zachariah Ahora. Sunset in the garden. Robins in their nest. Tossing, turning veggies need to get some rest. Turnips tucked in tightly. Potatoes closing eyes. Tuckered out tomatoes, humming lullabies. Cuddly cauliflowers, droopy pods of peas. Rhubarbs reading stories to worn out broccolis. Baby carrots snuggling, baby lettuce too. Baby eggplants dreaming of places far and new. Cucumbers are calm, lined up nice and neat. Golden yams are still, and beets are simply beet.
Mommy.
Cabbages are nodding their leafy, sleepy heads. Radishes are dozing in cozy garden beds. Celery is snoring as sunset disappears. Cranky corn rolls over and covers up its ears. Every veggie snoozing beneath the moon so bright, for nothing's more exhausting than growing day and night. Good night, sleepy veggies. Sleep tight.
Hi, my name is Debbie and I'm going to be reading to you. First book we have is The Hidden Rainbow. Who likes rainbows? Yeah, they're pretty. This is written by Christy Matheson. One little bee peeks out to sea a world of gray and snow. She's looking for bright colors, and she needs you to help them grow. First, please brush the snow off the budding camellia trees. Look, the flowers are red, and their nectar feeds 2 bees. Can you see the 2 bees? 1 and 2. Tickle the very tops of the growing tulip leaves. Very soon the bees will find orange. And can you see 3 bees? You see them? Next, point to the crocus shoots just beginning to sprout. 4 bees are eating pollen now that yellow has come out. Now it's time to search for a special 4-leaf clover. Has anybody ever looked for 4-leaf clover? What luck, a field of green with 5 bees zooming over. Please wave the bees back to their hive. Clouds are gathering for a shower. The bees don't like the rain, but it's important for the flowers. Blow the forget-me-not buds dry as the rain clears from the sky. The sun is shining, blue is blooming, and 6 bees are buzzing by. Next, trace a line straight down the orderly hyacinth row. 7 bees are foraging in blooms of indigo. You're practically done. Now blow a kiss to the lovely lilac trees. The violet blossoms are brimming with nectar for 8 bees. At last, get ready to find 9 bees on the rainbow you grew. But the story is not over. These bees have work to do. Can you see 10 humming bees getting busy in the trees? They're spreading so much pollen, you just might have to achoo! And why are the bees spreading pollen? So something you can eat can grow. Thanks to the bees, soon you'll have your own delicious rainbow. Do you ever look at flowers and think of rainbows? This one is Garden. It's by Kevin Hankus. My garden. My mother has a garden. I'm her helper. I water, I weed, and I chase away the rabbits so that they don't eat all the lettuce. It's hard work, and my mother's garden is very nice. But if I had a garden, there would be no weeds, and the flowers would keep blooming and never die. In my garden, the flowers could change color just by thinking about it. Pink, blue, green, purple, even patterns. And if you picked a flower, another one would grow right back in its place. In my garden, the rabbits wouldn't eat the lettuce because the rabbits would be chocolate and I would eat them. If I planted seashells, I'd grow seashells. Think you can grow seashells? If I planted jelly beans, I'd grow a great big jelly bean bush. Sometimes in my garden, good unusual things would just pop up. Buttons and umbrellas and rusty old keys. In my garden, there would be birds and butterflies by the hundreds, so that the air was humming with wings. The tomatoes would be as big as beach balls, and the carrots would be invisible, because I don't like carrots. At night, the morning glories would stay open, shining like stars, and the strawberries would grow like lanterns. It's night now. Only the fireflies and the porch lights are glowing. Before bed, I take one seashell from the shelf in my room and go to the garden. I poke the seashell into the ground. Who knows what might happen? I cover it up with dirt and pat down the dirt with my foot. That's what's going to happen. What are you doing? Asked my mother. Oh, nothing, I say. Just working in the garden. And then this one is Garden Time, written by Jill McDonald. Put on your gloves and grab your tools. We're going to the garden. A garden is a place where you can grow fruits, vegetables, flowers, and herbs. You might have a garden in your house. Who has a garden at their house? Anybody? You help? You might have a garden at your house, in your neighborhood, or at your school. The plants in the garden start as tiny seeds that are placed in the soil. Once a seed is planted, it starts to grow. Soil gives them nutrition to the plants. Roots spread into the soil below, and then a shoot pushes up out of the earth. The seed has sprouted. Roots hold the plant in the ground and drink up water and minerals from the soil. Plants in the garden have different parts: roots, stem, leaves, flowers, and fruit. See them all? There's the roots, there's the stem, a leaf, flower, the bees do it, and then you get strawberries. This one. Wiggle, wiggle, down below, earthworm burrow in the dirt, loosening the soil. This helps the plants grow. Buds flutter up above, bees and butterflies fly from flower to flower, spreading pollen. Pollen helps the plant make seeds, which can become new plants. Sprinkle. A garden won't grow without water, so it needs a good drink of water every day. Garden plants love rain, but if it doesn't rain, you will have to water them. There is something new to see in a garden every day. Some plants grow quickly, while others take more time. If you don't have a yard, you can grow plants on a window, ledge, or balcony. When the fruits, vegetables, and herbs in the garden are grown and ripe, it's harvest time. Let's start picking. Now you get to eat the food from the garden. What would you like to plant and grow? What would you like to plant? What? Carrots? You like carrots? Okay. Fruit snacks? Okay. See how they grow. What else? Who else would like to grow something? Well, who would like to plant something? So we have something up here and we're going to take home, and it's a funny plant. You know what it's called? Polka dot plant. So when you come up and look at it, you can see why you think it's called a polka dot plant, okay?